Whenever you're ready.
All right, welcome to...
Oh, my God. I was talking over you, dude.
You cannot talk...
Yeah, I got that.
I give up. I quit. Welcome to A Lot About a Little. I'm Logan.
I'm Reid. Hello.
That's Reid. And we're two white guys who want to start a podcast. So that's what we're doing here.
Pretty much.
And this is the pilot episode. Reid, how we doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, you know. Yeah. Happy to be here. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. Do we know what we're doing?
I don't think so.
As you said, we're just two white guys that want to start a podcast, you know, to fill in that stereotype, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely isn't enough white gentlemen who are like, you know what we should do? We should start a podcast.
There's always a couple, you know. We were just talking the one night, Shootin the Breeze, and we're like, we should turn this into a podcast, and here we are.
Shootin the Breeze, not the Breeze. That's a different show. Don't watch this show if you're looking for that. But I thought the first thing we could do, I mean, people don't know who we are, right?
No. Do we know who we are?
I don't know. What's your name again? I'm Reid. No, wait.
And I'm Logan?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But to get us started, I thought we could do a little bit of an icebreaker challenge on the inaugural episode here. So yesterday, I came up with a brilliant idea, if I do say so myself, of each of us coming up with 5 questions to ask each other. And they could be questions about anything.
Yep.
All right. Well, Reid, would you like to go first with question number 1? Maybe we'll alternate, or do you want to do all 5 at the same time?
Let's alternate.
All right, alternate.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Sure. I started off a little basic, but I feel like it's an important thing to get out of the way. Are you a dog or a cat person?
Ooh, dog or a cat person? Well, I am a dog person, first of all.
Okay.
We haven't had a whole lot of pets in my house growing up. There's a lot of, how you say, allergies going on here. So, you know, if we had a dog, his name would probably be Sneezy, because we'd be sneezing a lot.
One of the 7 dwarfs.
One of the 7 dwarves. Grumpy and Sneezy. No, Sneezy. Cat's not really my vibe. I like the animal to like me when I come up to it. I want it to greet me when I say hello.
That's fair.
You know, and not go and hide away in the closet.
I feel like it depends on the cat.
I have definitely heard that from people, especially from people who have cats and really like cats.
Yeah.
But I just haven't had that close experience with the feline, so I have not. Definitely a dog person, though. But that's a good question. That's a good icebreaker right there.
Glad we're off to a good start.
We're off to a great start. And so my questions, I try to think of some thought-provoking questions.
Oh, gosh, these scare me.
Thought-provoking questions that hopefully you've never been asked before, or had never been asked in this capacity. So my first question that I came up with for you is what is your favorite museum that you've ever been to, and why?
Oh, wow. My favorite museum. I have to think about all the museums I've been to, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, being from the Chicagoland area, we're blessed. I'm blessed anyway, with a lot of different opportunities to go to different museums. We have some of the best in the country here in the Windy City. So I know you're not from the Windy City, but I know you've visited a few times. I don't know. Have you been to any of the Chicago museums? I
lived outside of Chicago for school for 3.5 years, and never once did I visit a Chicago museum.
Oh boy. Okay. maybe this wasn't the right kind of question
but
here.
I do have an answer for you.
Okay.
My brother went to school in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
And in Rochester, there is the Museum of Play.
And
it is all about the history of toys and
Ooh.
entertainment in that regard.
Okay.
And it was really interesting. I can't remember the full name of it, but it was like something Museum of Play, or like Museum of Fun in Rochester, New York. That was really cool. Fun for I feel like it's fun for all ages. Like I went there, I visited him when I was in high school. And I went with my aunt, and we had a blast there. You know, it's not just something for kids. There's something for everyone. So that one was something that was a little bit more unique and definitely stood out to me in terms of museums.
Yeah, I know one of my favorite museum exhibits that I've ever been to. My favorite museum in the city is the Museum of Science and Industry, but for a long time they had an exhibit there that was basically an assembly line where they went through and you could make a gyroscope or go through.
Oh, that's cool.
And kind of go through the assembly line process. You got to customize it, and you saw it was all robotic, and it would you'd see it go down the line. The robotic arms would pick it up and put it together, and then it'd spit it out at the end. But that is a really cool museum. Is it still open in Rochester? Do you know?
I believe so. It would have been, I don't know, no more than 7 years that I would have been there, so I assume it's still open, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to put that name of that in post, because I think if I'm ever in Rochester, I'm going to have to go take a look at it. Hey, this is post-editing Logan. It's called the Strong National Museum of Play.
You may have to visit the Museum of Play. It's well worth it, I must say.
All right. Cool. Well, I like that answer.
Is it my
Move
turn?
on to question number 2. I think it
question?
is your turn.
All right.
That is how that works. You, then me, then you.
Fair enough. All right. Here we go. What is your most favorite purchase you have ever made?
Ooh, most favorite purchase I have ever made. And I assume you're referring to, are you referring to most used thing or most thing that I'm glad that I bought? Does that make sense?
I view it as the thing you're most glad that you bought, but you can whatever you define as your favorite purchase, whatever favorite means to you, then we can just go with that.
Okay. I think it's also important to note before I answer, neither of us have seen any of these questions before, so these are all cold hitting us.
Correct. We have no idea what's coming.
So I do have to think about this for a second. I think, though, my answer would be my gaming PC that we are currently communicating through right now.
Yep.
And I use that a lot. I use it to edit videos, play video games. It's a ton of fun. I'm really glad I bought it. I think hopefully in the next couple of years I'll be looking to upgrade a little bit, but I do think that is one of the most best purchases I've ever made. My favorite purchase, like I said, I had it before COVID, so obviously we're spending a lot of time at home during COVID, and that got a good workout during that. I wasn't doing a lot of working out, but the PC sure was.
But the computer was.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think that could be said for a lot of people.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a good question. Thought-provoking.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully this next one for you is a little bit of thought-provoking. Again, try to think of some things that are really outside the box.
Oh, boy.
And so I want you to imagine all of a sudden your apartment bursts into flames, or wherever you're at. Bursts into flames, right?
It'll make me feel real good when I'm falling asleep tonight.
You only have time to grab one thing apart from the things that you have on your body. You can grab your backpack, right? So whatever's in your backpack, you grab your backpack. I mean, you wake up middle of the night.
My backpack's not doing me very good, honestly. I don't keep much stuff in there.
Okay, well,
oh, Lord,
you're gonna grab one thing, out of your apartment or your place of living, I should say, that you're gonna save from the fire. What's it gonna be?
I got a really boring answer. I don't know if you want to hear this one. I can think of something more exciting. My boring answer is I have a backup hard drive of all the creative work I have done in my life, and I would grab that.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
But that's not anything exciting.
I mean, but for someone who is also in the creative world, I think that is a great answer. I don't think if I had a fire like that, all my stuff is kind of thrown haphazardly around the place of living here. So I always caught a lot of slack when I was in school from one of our professors, and he was like, "You need to be better at media management."
Ah, yes.
Because my media management is
not good.
Terrible. So
I hope that you can manage the media well for this podcast, or else no one will hear it.
I hope so. I mean, good thing you're with me, because
you will know if Logan properly managed the media for this podcast if you're listening to it right now. That's my boring answer, though. I mean, if you want something more exciting, probably my bike, because I really enjoy that. And they're still kind of difficult to get. They still haven't fully rebounded from the massive supply issues they had during the pandemic. But yeah, that would be my pick if the backup hard drive miraculously makes its way to my backpack and I can just grab that.
Fair enough. Okay. Cool. I like that answer.
This is my third question, right?
Yep. We're on question number 3 here.
All right. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay. An unlimited supply of one thing.
One thing. Yep.
So your thing. Okay. And is this is just like personal? Like it's not necessarily like an unlimited supply of SD cards, or like
it could be if you really want that. That could help your file management issues, or that would just make it worse because you would just have SD cards all over the place. You'd have no idea what's on any of them.
I mean, that's basically my life right now.
So nothing would change with your unlimited supply.
Exactly. Okay. I think. Okay. My controversial answer would be an unlimited supply of money. Because
okay.
Right?
That gives you an unlimited supply of anything else.
This is correct.
Okay.
And that also would allow more creative freedom to happen, because I think when you eliminate the financial implications of trying new products or doing something new, like starting a podcast, I think that would just make it more enjoyable, instead of having to go through work on a daily basis and then come home and edit this or record this, or even, any other projects. That would be a lot more time for, we'll call them fun projects.
Sure.
On my watch, and that's hopefully, if I'm still passionate about all of this stuff, because right now I feel like I have a lot of drive from making stuff like this.
Sure.
Right? But like after retirement, when I have a lot more time, hopefully we're just as passionate as we are now, and continue to make, fun and exciting content way down the road then.
Oh, way down the road. That's looking far into the future.
I know, dude. I can't.
That's kind of scary.
First of all, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, let alone 30 years down the road.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about. Now we're getting real deep.
I know, dude. Well, we're going to bring it back to question number 3 for Mr. Reid. Mr. Reid, if you were to compare yourself to any well-known celebrity and or person, who would it be and why? So this would be like, who do you think you would relate most to that is well-known?
Oh, boy. This is a great one.
Thank you. I figured... like I said, nobody knows us, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people know celebrities.
Famous people.
We are most certainly not celebrities.
No, not yet, at least.
Well, I don't know about that.
Or if
I don't know about ever, but...
oh, Lord. Someone I would think, oh, gosh.
If you were to compare yourself to any well-known celebrity and or person, this could be an athlete, this could be a creator, content creator, this could be anybody you want that has a large following.
Oh, this is bad because I suck with names too.
Oh, jeez. We're not getting very far.
Oh, no. I don't know. Who's I feel like I'm decently funny. I'm creative.
Well, that's debatable.
I mean,
that second one, not the first one, maybe.
I mean, I'm no Theo Von,
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Who would I compare myself to? I have no idea.
Oh, jeez. You got to pick someone. Come on.
Oh, God. Jack Black?
Jack
Black. I only know that because I saw an ad. I saw an ad for the Mario movie recently, and that's why Jack Black came to mind.
Oh, no, Reid.
I don't know. Not Jack Black.
Jack Black?
I don't know. Who would you choose for yourself?
Well, that wasn't the question. The question was for you. Okay.
Maybe I'll change one of mine to be that one for you.
Oh no.
Oh God, I have no idea.
All right, so Reid is like Mr. Black here, Jack Black.
Sure, why not?
Kung Fu Panda himself.
That is a great movie.
It is. That was an anticlimactic answer.
Yeah, my bad. Apologies on that one. We're off to a boring start. All right.
Black.
Oh, boy. Jack Black. Oh, gosh. I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day now. All right. If you could time travel, Logan, would you rather go into the future or into the past?
I would have to go into the future, I think.
Okay.
Because we all know what happened in the past, but that unknowing, what the future is like and how much of that future you're going to be able to see, I think is very thought-provoking. I actually think about that a lot, is if I had the ability, if I had a superpower, what would that superpower be? It would be to time travel. And future, I think, is where it's at.
How far in the future would you go?
Ugh.
Would you go to a point that's still in your lifetime, or would you go to a point that is beyond your time?
I mean, I think the first thing I would do would be go to somewhere at a point like towards the end of my life.
Okay.
Right. And
to see where you're at.
To see where I'm at. And then after that, I mean, unless, I guess, if we're only having one go at it. But from that point, I would go further into the future, even a couple hundred years.
That could be cool.
Even like a couple thousand years. Like, think about all the technological advancements we've made, even in just like the past 50 years.
Yes.
We went from 50 years ago to now is just unbelievable,
Correct,
and so to think about what it will be like in 200 years, 1,000 years, like
that's pretty wild.
The technology is going to be wild.
Yeah. Agreed.
Absolutely wild. But that was a good question. I like that.
Glad you liked it.
We might be circling back to that at a later point. That's called foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, question number 4 for Mr. Reid is, what are the last 2 shows that you watched and or are currently watching?
Okay. The last 2 shows. Let's see. This afternoon, I watched an episode of The Blacklist.
The Blacklist.
Yep.
That's with James Spader.
Yes, that's his name. Yeah, I was trying to think about it today. Yeah, fantastic actor.
Yes.
Such a good role actor that just like becomes the character. And I always love shows like that.
I agree. But then it's weird to see him in other shows. Like after Steve Carell left The Office, he was James Spader came in for a couple episodes, and that was just
that's just weird.
After watching The Blacklist,
Yeah.
Okay. Blacklist.
My second one would be, I think it would be, I'm trying to think, BoJack Horseman.
BoJack Horseman.
Which is another show. Will Arnett voices BoJack, and he also does commercials, and he did Reese's commercials, and he's in this new one. And every time I see him, I think that's BoJack Horseman, but that's just Will Arnett. Throws me off every time.
I have not watched BoJack Horseman. I know that was something that you've recommended to me.
I very much enjoy BoJack Horseman, yes.
But yeah, I have not watched BoJack Horseman.
It comes with a heavy recommendation from me.
Okay. And is that similar to any other of the animated shows on Netflix? Like I've watched Big Mouth, I've watched I think just Big Mouth, but still.
Big Mouth is definitely more comedy than BoJack. Like BoJack is like there's definitely comedic aspects to it, but it definitely is like kind of like I guess you could say like an animated drama almost.
Okay.
I guess because it touches on some very like real things in terms of like mental health and addiction and stuff like that. But like it's also just like animated animals. Like the main character's a horse, So I feel like it kind of makes those things a lot more relatable. And like I've seen it compared to online to like being what 13 Reasons Why I Should Have Been.
Okay.
And actually how to touch on those topics properly.
Right.
So yeah, like it starts off kind of comedic, but the final like couple seasons definitely get a little bit more like, oh wow, this is like a lot heavier than I was expecting from an animated show about a horse.
Oh, okay. So it does get a little bit more serious because some of those slapsticky, goofy comedies aren't really my jam.
Yeah, like you get that for the first couple seasons, and then it starts to evolve into the more serious like humor, I guess, if you want to call it that.
So I will definitely be adding that to my Netflix list, I think. BoJack Horseman.
Episodes are only like 25 minutes long. It's a really easy watch.
Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. Some of those sometimes... I do enjoy longer episodes, though, but yeah, it's nice to have some of those short shows.
I agree.
That you can just have on in the background.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was question 4 for me.
I'm on to my last question.
Final question here.
Good one. And now I'm thinking if this is the right one or not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll go for it. What is, in your life, your greatest accomplishment?
Oh, I like that a lot. Okay.
Glad I asked this one.
Greatest accomplishment in life. Well, I feel like I have a few that come to mind.
Okay. Well, I asked for one.
Okay. I mean, I feel I would be remiss if I did not at least mention girlfriend Nicole. Glad
Yes.
we got to meet and are together,
Okay.
and have been together for so long. I feel like that's a great accomplishment
Absolutely.
in my life.
Yep.
And then the other thing that comes to mind is graduating college.
Okay.
I mean, that there was a point there in my life for a while where it wasn't looking too good, in terms of like graduating college and like health wise, there was some stuff going on. But I think that graduating college would be probably the greatest accomplishment, and now having a full-time job as well, I think it is.
Which you are starting relatively soon.
6 days from now, I think.
At the time of recording.
Yeah, 6 days at the time of recording. So very excited to start that. It's a new opportunity at an old friend's location, I guess. I don't. That metaphor didn't really come through.
It's a new beginning at an old place.
Yes, new beginning at an old place, and I'm excited for it. So
as you should be.
We'll have to give an update on episode number 2 on how that's going. Yes. If I start by then. But that's a good question. I like that a lot. That was I think my favorite question that you asked.
Good to hear. That makes me feel a lot better about all 5 of the questions I asked.
They were all good, but I'm just saying.
I kind of thought I had some duds in there, but glad they all worked very well.
No, they worked good. I like that a lot. All right. Well, question number 5, not to circle back to your time travel question, but this is a little bit different. If you could time travel to any period in time to see any event, what event would you like to see?
Like a singular event?
Like, the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
I mean, that's boring. Those are just guys signing their name on a piece of paper.
Okay. Well, Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl. Or
I'd say, like, my mind initially goes to sports.
Yeah. Okay. Big sports fan.
Big sports
fan. And
fan.
myself.
Yes.
Probably more so than you. Or you're probably more of a sports fan than I am. I'm just a old hockey fan. But
you're a hockey fan. I feel like I have a slightly more general sports knowledge.
Yes.
Not to throw shade.
Sure. No. You definitely do. I will be the first to admit that.
What event would I go back to see? Wow. There's a lot that's happened in the history of the world, too. There's a lot to choose from.
Yes. This is, you could go back to the beginning of time, see what was going on there. Answered probably a lot of people's questions.
I was going to make a very bad joke about a certain ocean vessel that is underwater, but I will refrain from it.
Cut it out, dude. Cut that out. Can't talk about that, dude. Too soon.
Where would I go back in time? Wow.
Or, I mean, you could go, in theory, in the future, to see the first people go to Mars.
Space is pretty neat. I think it would be really fun to be alive during the time of the moon landing, because that is such a massive achievement of humanity to exit the planet. I think it'll be cool when we go back to it in, what I think is going to be like the next 5 to 10 years. They're planning on getting a mission back to the moon.
I think even sooner than that. Like, they already have a crew selected, and in the next couple years they'll be going back.
Yeah, I remember a couple years back, SpaceX launched that one rocket that sent people into orbit again, and that was one of the first times that we returned to space in a long time. But I feel like it would be really cool to be seeing it and seeing the country's reaction and watching it on the news when the first moon landing happened, because that was such if you rank a list of things that are fundamentally American, landing on the moon is pretty near the top,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool to see.
There hasn't been anything in our lifetime. Maybe the Bin Laden thing, when the U.S. killed him about 10 years ago. But apart from that, there really hasn't been any major things. I mean, that you or I can remember.
I would say, because we're both. I mean, we were born pre 9/11, but don't have any memory of it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't the Bin Laden thing you mentioned. I don't know. There's just I feel like there's a lot of like smaller things that are big in the moment, like an incident surrounding a certain naval vessel at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
That like
All right.
it's big in the moment, but then like people forget about it a little bit more, you know?
Right.
Like I don't know, like speaking of like space stuff, like when that guy like jumped from space back in the Felix
Right.
Baumgartner,
The
like
Red
when
Bull
Red Bull
guy?
did that, yeah, like that was huge at the time, and now it's just like, oh yeah, someone did it, and now like I think another guy's done it by now too, and it's gone up even
Right.
further or something like that. Yeah, I don't. We like our generation really hasn't had that big, massive, defining moment yet.
Yeah.
I feel.
And so we need the big, massive,
Someone do something
huge,
cool.
Yeah. Someone do something cool. If you can do
Please.
something cool, what?
If you
would
can do something
think-
cool, let us know because
Yeah.
we want
Let us
to
know.
see it.
The comment section below. I don't even know if there is comments on this. What is there? I don't even know how this works. Podcast, dude.
Because,
I don't.
you know, we'll find
don't know
out.
how
We're
podcasts
learning
work.
as we go. We're learning as we go. You know.
We're learning as we go. That's for sure. But that concludes my questions on the day.
Nice.
And I think
Those were all
we're
very
just-
good ones.
Thank you. You as well. I think we're just running on time here, or at least getting pretty close to it. Anything else that you would like to tell the viewing audience?
I mean,
I guess they're not viewing.
They're listening. Ideally, we'll have an Instagram and TikTok set up, right?
Yes, we do. It's a lot about a little pod on Instagram. At a lot about a little pod is what you need to look up. A lot about a little podcast on Instagram and on TikTok.
So if you somehow find this podcast without finding the social media platform, it will be on Instagram. We'll put the handle in the show notes.
In the show notes.
Because those are a thing
Wink,
that we have to
wink.
do now.
Oh, show notes.
I mean, it's like a description, but like we can sound fancy and call them show notes, right? This is a show. They're notes.
Sure.
They're show notes.
Yes, with
You
all
know?
the pre-production that we've done
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, and by pre-production, we mean like making a logo and me connecting my microphone to my computer.
I mean, that's a lot more places. I mean, you hear about a lot of people talking about starting a podcast.
Exactly.
But we actually did it.
We actually did it. We can officially say we're podcasters, even though we have one episode. You know, I feel like podcasting is a lot like ice skating. You see someone do it and you say, "Oh, that looks really easy. I could do that."
Mm-hmm.
And then you get out there and you look like a baby deer, you know. And,
Bambi!
you know,
Bambi!
maybe there were some Bambi vibes to this episode, but over time we will learn to walk or skate or make a podcast.
Iron out the kinks a little
Exactly,
bit. But
and learn what show notes are and how to write them.
yeah. Well, Reid, it's been a pleasure. Episode number 1 has come to an end.
In the books.
In the books. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.